Gene walks in, pulled his pants down, and his ass was that close to Philip's head.
Hey, it's John Ostronomy. I am here on a Sunday at the Ameristar Casino with my favorite guest, Jeremy Asbrock. How are you, Jeremy?
I'm fantastic. I'm having my first coffee of the day. My ride shows up in 30 minutes, and I'm heading back to Nashville.
Great. So, Jeremy, you played a big rock show at the casino last night. Were there any highlights?
My pick throwing game was pretty good last night. I did have an accidental throw that was pretty good. It was the first pick I threw of the night, and in the front looked like what was a father and a daughter to me. She was young. I don't think she was underage young, but I threw her a pick, went under her shirt. And I saw her dad ask, "Did you get the pick?" And she went.
That is classic Jeremy.
I did apologize, though. She looked young enough to where I really needed to say I was sorry about it. I wasn't aiming for that.
So, Jeremy, tell me about the sound on stage. It's one topic that I don't think my viewers are aware of, and that is monitor mixes. Now, tell us about monitor mixes.
Everybody likes something different. You know, like Ryan likes only his vocals. Ace likes only his guitar and his vocals. I like a little bit of everybody's vocals so I can make sure our harmonies are in the pocket. But I never understood people that like to sit on the side of the stage and watch, because the sound on stage is actually terrible. It's great out front because, you know, you've got your front of house engineer making it sound great. You've got a good mix of everything and everybody. We're on stage. It's real dry. And yeah, there's no reason to do that.
Absolutely.
Way better out front.
Absolutely. So, Jeremy, you are not only a member of the Ace Frehley Band, but you've played with the Gene Simmons Band all over the world, Australia, Japan, and you have two other really great projects going on.
So we have the Rock N Roll Residency, which isn't as active as it used to be. My co-host, Philip Shouse, who used to be in the Ace Frehley Band with us, and Ryan Cook, who is currently the bass player. We used to play weekly in Nashville every Tuesday from 2014 to the end of 2018. And then when we started touring a lot with Ace, we had to wrap up the weekly thing, because you can't tell people that you have a free weekly show and you're only home 26 out of 52 weeks. So we still play whenever we can. Like, lining up 4 tour schedules is almost impossible. So we try to cram in 1 show a year. We've had a lot of cool guests: Deep Purple, Cheap Trick, every fucking 80s band that ever lived. I don't know, Alice Cooper, that list goes on. And Ryan and Phil and I also made an original record with Marti Frederiksen, who he's worked with Ace on Anomaly and Origins Volume 3. We wrote a record with him and he produced it, and that came out 2 years ago. And it's out there. You can hit up me and Ryan and order vinyl. We've got red and blue colored vinyl. At the shows, our sound man Randy will play the album either before we go on stage or after. So if you hear some cool rock and roll and you're like, who the fuck is this? And it's probably us.
So, Jeremy, you're about to fly to Nashville, and then in a day, you're going to go on a family vacation that's going to end up in New Buffalo, Michigan, which is outside of Chicago.
Next weekend, we're playing New Buffalo, Michigan. It's on Lake Michigan, so I'm going to take advantage of that and take my family up a few days early and spend our family vacation there. And if any of you people come to the show, we'll probably meet my wife and my kids.
And tell me about your kids' ages and their names.
Okay, so we have my oldest son. His name is Rory. I'm not going to say he was named after Rory Gallagher, but I will say Rory Gallagher Live in Europe did pretty much contribute the idea for the name. He's 9, and my youngest son, Benjamin, is 4.
Now, do either Rory or Benjamin play the guitar?
Benjamin plays a little guitar. I had him in drum lessons. He likes rock and roll. He's into it. Rory could not give a shit about music. He grew up around it. He's grown up around famous people, and he's just completely desensitized to it, and he could care less.
That's great. Now, what does he like to do? What does he like?
he likes to make YouTube videos. He wants to be a YouTuber, and like one of his videos got like 45,000 views or something.
He's doing better than me.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
That's awesome.
And you know, he likes regular kid stuff, playing Roblox. He's got a VR headset. He likes that. Benjamin likes. He's kind of a gearhead. He's probably going to be like a mechanic or something. He likes cars and tools and rock and roll, and he's a
very cool.
Man.
That is awesome, Jeremy. So you have a beautiful family, and we're going to feature them on next week's episode of Ostronomy TV.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
That should be interesting.
So, Jeremy, growing up in Nashville, how do you think Nashville has changed?
Well, besides there being a lot more traffic and a lot more people, there's just, you know, there's always a lot of music, but now it extends beyond country music, and it's really just whatever you want at any time. And then with like the downtown scene, you know, there's like 1,000 places, and each place has 3 levels, and there's a band on every level. So there's like, you know, over 1,000 bands playing at any given time. But I don't really do any of that. I don't play any of those gigs. I don't really go down there. That's really a tourist-driven thing. I'm very grateful that I established myself and I made it out of Nashville before all of that, so I don't have to do it, because honestly, like playing for 4 hours with no break sounds that sounds terrible to me.
So, Jeremy, is there one Gene Simmons story that people don't know that you could tell without getting in any sort of trouble?
Yes, it's my absolute favorite one. So the very first weekend that we did gigs, it was 2 private events. And the second one, they had, you know, a curtained off area for our dressing room. But Philip was on the ground and he was laying out all of his jewelry. And then Gene walks in. He was going to tell us something, and he goes, and he saw Philip on the ground, and he started undoing his pants, went over to Philip, pulled his pants down, and his ass was that close to Philip's head. And I pulled out my phone and I started filming, and I said, "Hey, Philip," and he turned around and Gene's ass was right here. This was our first weekend together. There's lots of other stuff.
That's a classic.
Like, you know, dumping a shaker of salt in my coffee, or squirting ketchup in my drink, pouring a shaker of salt on Ryan's steak. He's a practical joker. Don't leave your food or drink around that fucking guy.
That is awesome.
He's a lot of fun.
Well, Jeremy, I really appreciate you taking the time out to hang out with me and Ostronomy TV and all our viewers. You're the breakout star, in my opinion, of these videos, and keep them coming.
All right, we'll see you next weekend.
All right.